Looks like it's okay. A little choppy, but that's okay. Nice. Let's see if we're live on everything like it says we are. Hard to tell these days. Oh yeah, I am there. On Facebook this time, that's cool. Twitter's up. Cool. I don't think it's higher quality though, which is sad, but that's okay. Just testing it out. Alright, let's get back to whatever I was doing. Hello everyone. Paint by Nate here, back for another week. Mark Hodge is in the chat. Hello Mark. How's it going? Just getting started. I'm trying to upgrade my stream quality for testing it out for a month, so hopefully it's a little higher quality. If it's not, let me know so I can downgrade and save money. But I'm also trying out a new liquid white. It's just Grumbacher first coat thin white. The case is really annoying. It's like an actual paint can, but it ends up being kind of the same as my other ones, although it doesn't smell as nice as the regular Magic White, which is disappointing. But that's okay. Fernando Ventura is in the chat. Hey Fernando, how's it going? We're just setting up, getting stuff ready. I've got some shapes on here. I don't normally put animals in my paintings, but I thought we would try to do one today. So yeah, I'll just put this on while folks are loading up. This is just the first coat thin white is what it's called, but it's basically a liquid soft white, that type of thing. It's not as oily as the other ones I use, which is interesting. I don't know how well that's going to go. I've only done 2 paintings with it so far. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know how it'll go. Just spread it around. In the state, so we're doing the 50 states series. I don't know if folks are new or not, if they know we're doing that, but it's just painting around the 50 states, just a different landmark from each one. So this one will be from Oklahoma. It's a place called Wichita Nature Wildlife Refuge, Wildlife Preserve. So that's what we'll be doing. That's why I got the 2 bison there, buffalo, because they're pretty common on this wildlife refuge. I figured I'd give them a shot, try to paint them. I actually might take this thing down. I've been trying out different stream stuff to see how it works. And one thing I tried was putting this up here and putting the camera back here, but it ended up, you can see it kind of bouncing around. And that's what happens with the camera when I'm painting. So it didn't work too well. Alright, I think that's good enough. It's hard to tell because it's not as shiny, so I can only hope that there is enough on there. It's one thing I'm not a huge fan of, but it is much cheaper, so that's a huge plus. Kenneth's here, says happy painting, happy Easter. Thanks Kenneth. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you had a good week too. Alright, let's just make sure. Just checking for a little bit of glare. I think I got it. Okay, let's get rid of this though. I don't need this. Well, there we go. Alright. So we got our canvas prepared with the liquid or thin white. I'm not sure what to call it. It's not magic white and it's not liquid white. It's something else. Soft white. I don't know. Alright, let's go grab the palette. Colors today. mostly the same, but we got a little variety over here. Burnt umber, burnt sienna, emerald green, ivory black, permanent alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue, titanium white, cadmiolite, yellow ochre, naphthol red. These are going to be mostly for the bison. The background, I think, I haven't really decided what to do with the background yet, so we can make it up as we go. Maybe we'll do a blue sky, 2.5 inch brush. Let's do that. Make sure it's evenly across the brush. There we go. All right, and there's going to be a mountain in the background, so let's try and put the darkest blue up over here. Just doing little X's as usual. Not sure how far down I need to go with this, because we are going to be doing some hills. Maybe a little creek or something in the front, I'm not sure. Put more blue up here, darken it up a little bit. Come across the top. Come down, kind of blend it in a little bit. We'll probably do one more, just for good measure, before we start throwing in some clouds. Here we go. Same thing, little X's up and down the side. I think that's good enough. Wipe this off and then blend it out a little bit. Not sure how big we want the hills to be. Spike G is in the chat. Hello, Spike G. What are you painting today? We're doing, so this is our Oklahoma painting. Wichita Nature Preserve. So that's why we got our wildlife refuge. I can't remember the exact name, but it's just like a little grasslands in Oklahoma. And they got some buffalo roaming around, so we'll try and paint those. I don't paint them often, so we'll see how that goes, but we'll give it a shot, see what happens. All right, let's just go this one time, smooth everything out. Make sure there's no lines on the edge. Sometimes I push too hard and I get the lines up and down on the wood frame. You just go over it a little bit and it gets rid of it. I think that's good. All right, let's do some clouds. Uncle 60, I ate too much. Oh no. What'd you eat? I had ham and what else? Potatoes, deviled eggs. So I'm a little full as well. Thought about eating a slice of pizza, but that might have overdone it. A little too far, but I stopped myself. All right, let's use, oh, my brushes are rolling everywhere over here. Let's make a little fluffy clouds. Those are always nice. Nice and easy on the fan brush. I usually just shake my fan brush left and right. There's probably a better way to do that, but that's just how I load it, get the paint in it. All right, we're going to start. Maybe we'll just put a big one over here, right on the edge of the dark blue. Pick up some more blue as we go down, and it just turns into an invisible puff there at the bottom. We'll do one here. Maybe we'll just do a crazy one. Something like that. I like doing crazy clouds sometimes. I had Taco Bell and it was still frozen. Oh gee. That's funny. Taco Bell's, I like Taco Bell, I know most people they had strong opinions on it. But I like it. I don't mind it. I'm just fluffing up the side. And the bottom, blend out the bottom. Make it look more wispy. Wispy cloud. You got a lot of hairs today. Just one of those days, I guess. We get hairs all over the canvas. Here's one. There. Roasted leg of ham, Italian Easter pie, and Greek spinach pie. Oh my goodness. That sounds really good. That's a feast. That's a big feast. Alright, let's do one little. There's a space over here. We could put something up here. Maybe there's just one on the edge. A little tiny one. It's just up here. Hanging out. There we go. He's just hanging out there. He's having a good day. Okay. I don't know if I need to clean this brush yet or not. I'll save him for later. I'll make sure I get all the blue out for now. Could probably use that blue up next because we got to do the grassy hills. Where's my palette knife? There it is. All right, we gotta make some different greens. There's just a really strong gust of wind, and I thought my window had blown open, but it did not. Okay. Probably too much yellow. Maybe a little bit. We'll start with a little and work it back. This is phthalo green and emerald green and cad yellow. There's a nice darkish green. Too much cad yellow makes it look a little not natural. At least I've been told. That's what people tell me. So try not to add too much cad yellow. Just need something that looks kind of like sap green because I don't have sap green with this brand of paints. So I have to try and make something similar. Alright, now let's start lightening this. Need different values of it. Too light. There we go. So that's a little bit lighter. Not bad, not bad. Is there hair in there? Oh no, that's just a clump of paint. Interesting. Must have had some of it dried up in the tube. Happens sometimes. Okay, so we got 3 different variations of green here. Hey Nate, happy Easter. Hey Billy, how's it going? Turkey and some other good food. Nice. Everybody's having a good Easter, I hope. I was kind of sad. We usually get work off on the day after Easter, but we don't have it. We don't have it this year. Well, that's okay. All right, let's get back here. We gotta make some hills, and I think I just went into the dark one. I didn't mean to, but that's okay. I'm just kind of shaking the fan brush back and forth to make an edge. And my hands are generally shaky, so it helps out when we're making hills like this. Gotta soften this edge a little bit there. Alright, let's do some down here. Down here. Oh, went too high there. That's okay. Okay green, not too bad. Sometimes I get really far off with the greens, but I think this one looks okay. And I'm just kind of pulling it down to give it some shape here. Make it look like a little rolly hill. We'll come in and add some different different values on top. Trying to think where I wanted this to stop. Maybe we'll make it stop like right here. Right there. Okay. There's my line. I don't cross that one. And I got masking tape there, so I can just go over this as much as I want. Okay. There's some hills. Hills for you. Some shapes. Some land. Let's stop it right there. Okay. And then down here we'll just make some grass. Tall grass. But first we got to highlight up around the this background. Got to make it look less green or less monotone, mono value. I don't know what the words are. All right, where do we want the highlights to go? We just need some different values here and there. These probably won't even show up that much, because we already got the liquid white as we pull down. This is more for the top edge. There we go. Good enough for the tops. And then probably use more yellow too. Maybe a little bit. Not too much. Don't want to overdo it. Or maybe we do. I don't know. Alright, this is our lightest color. So this is going to be like where the sun is. So back here. I'm trying to aim for the edges where I put that other green. Or the slightly lighter green. I don't think this one needs it. He's looking okay. Put a little hill up here, a little tiny one, a little bump in the back. Okay. And then this part in the middle, probably should have blended a little bit better. We'll do that now, since it's okay. There we go. A little bit there, a little bit there. And I'll just blend this edge on the bottom just a little bit. And there we got some rolling hills. Not too difficult. Could always clean them up a bit, but this is just about practicing and learning more than anything else right now. Okay. So we got our little bit of grass there. Now I want to move it. I want to move a little bit forward under the buffalo. What should we use? What should we use for the dark grass? Could use a few different things. I might start with the umber and then work up. So it's usually easier than working down. So we start with umber and then work our way back. This is burnt umber. Normally I use raw umber, but today we'll use burnt umber because I had a tube of it that I need to get rid of. Go to the bottom here. Could use a 2-inch brush. Sometimes I overuse the fan brush. Hopefully as we work our way up, we pick up more of the white and it gets less strong. number. Almost lost it. I'm gonna make a really dark section over here. This will go under the, or it'll touch the grass here, but it won't go all the way up. It'll be under the buffalo. We'll have to darken under him so the shadow doesn't, because he's going to have a shadow. So I'll just make sure I remember to do that. Back over here. I do think I'll put a path or something over here, but we can do that here in a little bit. Not hard to add a path in. Okay, comes up into the green. There's our buffalo. Try not to knock off his little stencil. And then I did want to darken under them a little bit, so like right here, it's a really dark spot where the shadow is. And then over on the other one, where the shadow is. I don't know if he's actually going to be this big or not. Can always cover it up. Okay. So now we want to add in the grass. Let's see what color we want to use for this. Could use cad yellow. It might be okay, but I'm going to try something different. This is sienna and ochre, but not as much. Not that much. Here we go. Be like a yellowish red. Or is that orange? I think that's what that's called. Trying to do different colors of things. Alright, let's get some white. Now there's some green in there, but that's okay. Might need a little bit more ochre. This will be a good highlight for the bison. Probably not for the grass though. We can save it for later. Alright, let's get some more ochre. Right here. Alright, that's a good start. Just a slightly yellow. It's more like, I don't know, bronze maybe. Copper. Is that a color? I mean, it could be completely wrong, I'm not sure. Everyone knows I'm not the best. I can't see all the colors. But we can start with this and see what happens. Hopefully it works well with the burnt umber already on there. Where do we want to start? We can start either side, really. Maybe we'll start here. I'm just going to aim for the this dark area first. I might add some more burnt umber up on top there. Maybe there's like a shadow spot here. Let's do that first. Feels a little too light, so nothing's going to stand out. Especially right here, in this area. Here. So if we have too bright of a spot, then you won't be able to see this at all. So we gotta make sure we start with dark. Then we can make it lighter pretty easy. Should be a little bit darker, hopefully. We'll see. I'm officially taking a break from art. I moved the 25th. Dang. Are you excited to move? Moving for me is always scary. So I always think I'm going to forget something. Hopefully it's not scary though. Let's see if we can smash this in down here. There we go. This is our like darker grass down here. And as we work up, we can add some yellow. Yeah. There we go. I'm just punching in, straight in. This is just to get texture on there. I'll come in and highlight this after with another lighter gray, yellow color, not gray. I don't know why I was thinking gray. Probably thinking about the next painting already. Man, I'm getting hairs all over here. Brushes are falling to pieces. There. You can probably tap under the bison too, it should get a little darker. Trying to aim more towards the bottom here. Okay. Now we can use our light yellows, or lighter yellow. Just add more cad yellow to that. Oops. Alright, and this will go back here in the background. Up towards the distance, the intersection. Around the buffalo, and then at the middle. Maybe right here. Ooh, that's a little too much. Oh well. That's okay. This brush is kind of falling apart. Okay, so I got some grass here. I do kind of want to lighten that just a little tiny bit. This is too thick. This white's too thick. I just want to put this right in the middle, around the buffalo. Maybe some very far in the back, and around this guy. Okay. I think that's good enough for the grass. What is your favorite brush to use? Good question. It's between the fan brush and the 2.5-inch brush. I would say probably the fan brush. Although it's a close tie, or a close split decision there, because I use the some paintings I just only use the 2-inch brush, 2.5-inch brush. I've only tried to use the fan brush for an entire painting once, and my hand got all cramped up. It's hard to do a painting of this size with a fan brush. But you can do it if you really want to. But I just like the 2.5 for covering the areas. But the fan brush, I like you can do grass, you can do clouds with it, you can do hills. It's just so versatile. You can do that with the 2.5-inch brush, but it's not as, you lose the details, you know. You don't get the texture, if that makes sense. Alright, I think we're ready to peel these things off. This is probably going to look really bad because I'm not very good with the X-Acto knife. But hopefully his leg's a little too long there. I'll get better with the X-Acto knife as I use it more. But I did a little bit better on that one. I'm new to that. I normally don't use cutouts and stuff, so, but I'm just trying different things, trying to learn new stuff. That's my mission. Learn new things, meet new people. All right. Do we want to put? I don't even want to put magic white on there, really. I just want to go into let's just go into these colors for a bison. So there's going to be a little tiny bit of red, alizarin crimson, a lot of black for the base. So it's like a reddish brown, slightly crimson brown. And then maybe some umber, just a little bit, some sienna. And these will be the backgrounds we'll build on top. So we gotta make a better shape here. This shape's a little weird. Alright, there's a head. I'm gonna have to move the head a little bit because I made his hump so weird. It's looking like a camel. Go up the side. Come down the back. There's one of his front legs. We'll do another one there. But this one might be tricky just because of the perspective on him. But we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. Okay. Then we gotta do his back side here. And this is a tiny filbert. This is a number 3. Normally I use 6s. So, and I'm not really worried about how far down I go because you can always chop off. This doesn't sound bad. You can chop off the legs pretty easily. And what I mean by that is you can just pop some grass in there and it'll cover him up. Easy peasy. And then he's got a little horn. So there's the shape of our first one. Rough outline. Now we got to do the other one. Alright, a little bit of crimson. Mostly black. A little bit of sienna and umber. That's our bison color. Base bison. we got to fix this shape here. I don't know what I was doing. I think I did this one first. I just didn't know what I was doing. Alright, let's make his face come down like that. He got a big beard, so we can drape it a little bit. Back side here. Maybe this one's standing more sideways than this one. This one's kind of facing forwards. This one's kind of looking off over that way somewhere. Alright. And then I'll stop there because I don't want to go down that far. This is his leg. We'll come up around here. Just darken this in. You could put some liquid clear or something on here. It makes it a little easier to do this. I found once I have this base paint in the weaves of the canvas, it's very easy to do everything else, even without the oil. It's usually very easy to mix on top of. Okay. So now that we got our base colors in there, we can start giving them some shape. We'll give them some shapes. All right. How do we want to do that? We have this nice color for the last highlight on them, but for now, that's umber. I don't use sienna because they're mostly red. I got some red fur, some red, tiny bit of ochre, a little yellowish tint, and then a little bit of white. This white's really strong, so I'm going to try to not overdo it. Sometimes it's easy to overdo it with this white. Okay, let's give her some shapes. Which one do we want to do first? Oh, I don't know. Maybe we'll start with this one. Come around around the back. He's got a little tiny back leg. And then some on his chin over here. Make sure we pull down. Big, strong front leg right here. That's where the most of the shape's going to come from. And then some down the bottom. And this is probably going to be really hard to see until we get, I don't know, you probably can't see that. Maybe you can a little bit. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell. I just have a little tiny screen that big. That's how I see what's going on with the streams. All right, let's go around this top hump here. Then maybe there's some on the other side. And then down the back, big leg, and then big, strong front leg. And maybe a little bit on his chin. A little bit there. Okay. All right. So we got some blobs in here. Some blob bison. Let's keep going. Take that same color. There's some yellow in this, I believe. Yeah, it's probably too much. Maybe it might look okay. Let's give him some more shape up here. Up on the top. Then around this side. Just start pulling down. My brush is almost vertical here. Alright, let's get some more of that color. That's nice. That's a little too light though. We need some more sienna with that. Not that much. There we go. There we go. Okay. A little bit on his chin. Some up here. Some up there. On the other side a little bit. We'll go do the other one in the background. This guy. He's going to have some right there. Far back. Some on this big shoulder. Beef shoulder. Right there. And a little bit on his chin. A little bit. Then we'll start pulling up on the top. Blend it in. Little strokes here. Make it look like fur. A little tiny. Something like that. Right here in the middle. Some down here on this leg. Alright. And then maybe some up on the top of his head. Right there. Alright, let's get some more of that and work on the one on the left a little bit more. Alright. Some there. Little tiny strokes. Some on the back. Hopefully pick up some of that dark color. There we go. Some on the chin. Okay. And we need more, a little lighter, even lighter than that. I think we might need, we can probably use this color. This is just the ochre and sienna and some white that we used before, or in the past. Some on that shoulder, some right here on the chin, some on his chin, this shoulder, some more. Gotta try and bend it in towards the towards this side of the shoulder blade, something like that, and then on the back, a little bit up there, some on top of his head. This one, we'll try and put some up here on his top side too, and then some on the back, very side shoulder, or not shoulder, back leg. And just kind of pull around, little strokes, make it look like fur. Do the same up top. they have like a little streak down the middle of their head or their back. That's where the some hair grows. All right, now we'll do some over here. Some right here on this side. Okay. We gotta add a little eyeball and then a horn. Maybe 2 horns. This one you'd probably be able to see both horns, so we'll do that one first. All right. Are they starting to look like bison? Maybe. I don't know. Hard to tell. Hard to tell. Let's see. Could use oil for this. Thin oil. I'll just start with raw ivory black for the horn. There. That looks more like a ram horn. A little too steep. Maybe we'll change it. You can always change things. Goes in there. Bend this a little bit more to the left. Go do this other one. We'll just have one horn. We'll give him one horn. Steady my hand so I don't get too shaky. Goes in the side like that. Maybe we can give him another one. He's facing just the right way where we can give him 2. There we go. I'll do some, I'll wipe this brush off real quick. I don't want any of the black in when I do this highlight here. Okay, I'll do some yellow, or not yellow, white. There's yellow in there, that's why I was thinking about it. Some white, I guess it's okay if there is some gray in there, and just a little bit of blue. This is ultramarine blue, a little bit of ivory black, and then white. Throw this on, see how it looks. There's a horn. There's going to be some on the inside of this one. Very shaky. Yeah. Alright. There's his little horns. This one comes around this way. There's one. There's the other. Got to match the distance. There we go. Now we can add in, where's that filbert? A little bit of highlights here on the front of their faces. Something like this. And then we'll add in a little eyeball here. Same with this one, just a little bit on his head. Could do a little bit more on his. There we go. And then we'll throw in a little bit of white there. Or not white. What color would reflect on their eyes? Probably be more of the ochre and this, whatever we put in the grass usually. Alright, let's give him a little tiny eye. There's part of it. Part of an eye. This one will be easier because he's facing away. Might be able to see a little bit on that side, but not much. Now we just add the beards. You got a little bit of beard on the bottom. I'm going to use a tiny bit of blue. Not that much blue. What color was I? Umber and blue. On their chins. Or their nose, sorry, not their chin. Might need a smaller brush than this. Blue, black. Too much blue. Might be a little hard to see. Maybe a little bit white. A little bit more. There we go. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, I'll give him a little nose. If I had a smaller filbert, that would work better, but this is all I got for now. And maybe some for his mouth. Right down here. Hard to see. All right. I'll pull down on his beard a little bit more, because they're pretty big beards on these guys. And highlight it a little bit. A little bit here on the right. And I think, I don't know, probably highlight a little bit more on this guy's back leg, but just a little bit. Blend it a little bit. Pull it a little bit more. And we just got to touch up around his foots. Or feet. Footies. I don't know. Whatever you call it. Foots. I'll go with that. Alright. Where's that brush? I think this was the one we were using. Yeah, just around the feet. Chop off these legs. Here we go. They're just kind of hanging out here. I'll blend that out a little bit there. Alright, there's some weird looking buffalo for you. Second time painting those, I think, ever. Could be better. Paint Your Dream World's here. Hello. Happy Easter, yeah. Happy Easter to you. Hope you're doing well. There's some kind of liquid on this thing. That's interesting. Alright, I think I said we're just gonna brave this one. Oregon Trail style. And throw a path right in the middle. So there's not much wildlife in this one. Could add like a mesquite tree or something, maybe. A little tiny mesquite tree. Alright, let's just scrub that in. Try and get off the excess. I don't want a huge blob of paint there. We'll throw in we got this yellow from the bison left. We can throw that on top. It's an easy highlight. Trying to pull up and to the left. There we go. There we go. And there. There's a little path. Okay. I'll tap in with the other brush and kind of touch up the sides here. It should be okay. Oops. Thought I had a phone call, but it wasn't. False alarm, false alarm. Alright, what color did we use there? I think it was yellow ochre and burnt sienna. This color. A little bit more sienna though, for the bottom. Because it's in the shade. Or shade-ish, not really the shade. Okay. I think that looks okay there. Do we want to add in a tree? Maybe. Maybe a tree. Ooh, I can't decide. Let's just do a tree. We can put one in over here. Maybe the bison are looking at it. They want some leaves or something. I don't know what bison eat. All right, this is a script line, just number 2 script liner. And actually, we'll use some oil for this because I need it to slide. Here we go. Whoops. Oh, there might be some crimson in there now, but that's fine. Let's just throw him in. Nice little tree back here. How big are mesquite trees? They're not that big. Make them a little small, on the small side. Maybe he has one little arm on this side too. A little bit bigger of a trunk. I'm just kind of shaking back and forth with the script liner. There's probably way too much oil on here. That's okay. That's okay. Alright. Steady my hand a little bit. There's one arm. We'll do one here. One in here. Some little tiny branches here. Some there. And then one on the side. A little tiny one over here. There we go. I gotta fix this up here. It looks weird. And the same with the back side here. Okay. Got some gaps. Gaps in the tree. Alright. Let's add some tiny leaves to him. Oops. Alright, let's use that same oil here. I guess there's some green. You can use that. As long as it's not too dark. Just like the illusion of leaves. Not super full, just a little bit on the edge. Maybe some in the middle. There we go. There's our little tree. Mesquite tree back there. Easy tree. And we gotta tap on the bottoms again. Like we were doing before. Maybe there's some shade behind him. There. There's our little tree. Some bison just hanging out. Little path. There we go. We can call it that one. That one's okay. Good as done. Just gotta do a little highlight. Where's my small script liner? There. Or our signature on the bottom. Didn't come out terrible. Oops. It's always nice to try new things when you're painting. I want to try to paint more animals in the future. Because they seem, I don't know, they just spice up the painting a little bit. Nothing wrong with regular landscapes though. Okay. Two, 3 here at the bottom. 2, 3. There we go. That one's done. Dunzo. Oklahoma, Wichita Wildlife Refuge. Yeah, there we go. Some little bison hanging out in the background. I'll put this over here. Hopefully I have space. Been running a little low. Low on the space. Okay. Let's wipe off the sides of the easel. Make sure I didn't miss any of the chats. Okay. Alright, let's wipe this off. There we go. That's good. Next one is Oregon. So for Oregon, we're going to do Mount Hood. Big old mountain painting. Could use just the palette knife. I don't know if anyone has a preference. If anything you would like to see. I kind of want to do the whole painting with a palette knife, but I don't know if I want to do that on the live stream. Sometimes I get a little carried away with them and get paint all over everything. But I don't know. It's up to you guys. What people want to be interested in. If not, I'll just do a regular old mountain painting. Mount Hood. Maybe some pine or fir trees. That's what they call them. All right, let's clean up the palette first, though. I gotta figure out what colors I want. Not sure. Oh, there we go. Let's scrape off this color and that one. Probably keep the crimson out. So that's a good color for the mountains. Might switch the blue though. I'll probably switch the blue actually. I'll use Prussian blue instead of ultramarine blue. Okay. Don't mind me, I'm just over here wiping off the palette. Making some space for new colors. Alright. I think I said Prussian blue, so I'm going to grab that. Prussian blue, maybe some siennas I already got enough of. Need some ochre for sure. Prussian blue. Don't need any more green. Probably good with those. And we still got the crimson there. Right. Ochre. Probably need more white. Whenever I do mountains, I always overdo it with the white, so it's good to have extra when you're doing mountains. I use more white paint than anything else. I don't know about everyone else, but that's what I always use the most of. That should be good on everything else. Okay. I believe this is good. Good on the colors. Bro, how far do your thumbs bend? How far do they bend? I have the hitchhiker thumb where it goes like parallel. Yeah. Palette knife painting, Specs says. Okay, Specs, we'll do a palette knife for you. Mount Hood should be fairly easy. Oh no, don't jinx me, Kenneth. Oh no. Now there's a lot of pressure. It wasn't pressure before, but now it's pressure. I'm just kidding. There's no pressure. There's no pressure. We're just here hanging out. Gotta get this jar. This is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see it. It's not liquid. It's like almost like whipped cream. It's very interesting. I kind of like it, but I don't know. We'll have to see how long it takes to dry. That's my main, that's what I'm trying to, my main focus right now is finding a magic white that I don't have to add anything to, that dries relatively quickly. That's all I'm trying. If we're going to be doing a palette knife painting, though, I'm going to need more paint. We'll see. We'll see. I might do a sketch first, though. If you want to be really fancy, you can use my palette knife that I use for crazy looking mountains. I don't know if I want to pull that one out because I'm still learning how to use it. And someone's probably thinking, why is he putting magic white on when he's doing a palette knife painting? And the reason is that it's a lot easier to move the paint, even if there's just like magic white on than a raw canvas. I find myself using way more paint when I don't have this on, when I'm doing palette knife paintings, than when I don't have it on. If that makes sense. I don't know if I said that right. It just makes your paint spread easier, so you don't have to work as hard. And I'm a very lazy painter. Just making sure this side's good over here. And towards the tops, because I always forget the tops. Okay, there's some type of fuzz. Lint or something here. Okay. Don't eat it, Nate. I'm gonna try not to. It does look pretty good though. Could put it in a key lime pie. It actually does look almost exactly like a Cool Whip. Whipped cream. So, doesn't smell like it though. It smells pretty bad. Definitely not the same as the other magic white. It smells like lavender. This smells like chemicals. Sometimes some type of chemicals. What inspired you to start painting? I think I was just, it was over, pandemic 2020. I was just really bored and I didn't have anything else to do. But I always watch Bob Ross, the weekend streams that they do. So I thought, you know what? Bob says I can paint. Maybe I can paint. So I gave it a shot. And now I'm painting. So if you don't think you can paint, I know that you can. Because I didn't think I could paint, and now I'm painting. So if I can do it, then everyone else certainly can do it. Because I don't do any art stuff as long as I've lived. I gave up on that really early. Because people said I wasn't good. I did music stuff though, but yeah. No art, real art stuff. Alright. Visual arts, I should say. Okay, I think there's enough. Yeah, there should be enough here. Colors, here we go. Burnt umber, burnt sienna, emerald green, ivory black, permanent alizarin crimson, permanent alizarin crimson, Prussian blue, titanium white, cad yellow, light, yellow ochre, naphthol red. Probably only use these colors over here and some white, but we will see. We will see. I gotta try to not get too worked up when I'm doing the palette knife painting. Sometimes I get really high energy when I do. So I gotta tone it back. Okay, let's do a sketch first. I didn't do a sketch last time, but I should do one this time just so I can kind of stay in the realm of reason. Alright, how big is Mount Hood? How big is it? It's not, I don't think it's very tall. It is very triangular. Or maybe it is tall. I don't know. Alright. there's that. Tree line. Here. Water. This might be a little too tall. Unless we want to do a reflection, we could do a reflection. Maybe we do. Yeah, we can put rocks down here. Let's actually move it down a bit. That's the worst sketch he's ever done. It's okay, we can blend it out. Tree line here. We're doing the mountainception. We're going to do two mountains over top of each other. No, we're not. We're not. It's just the sketch. It's just the sketch. Don't worry. I'm sure somebody out there is freaking out. So it'll be okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. Nothing to worry about here. All right. Sky time. Let's do a sky with some blue. Prussian blue. White. Prussian blue's a little strong. That's why I add some white to it. I don't want it to look stormy. Alright, start in the top. Stop, top in the corner. Little circles. Little circles. Alright, grab some more. Doing little circles. Need some more white. I'm definitely going to need more paint here at some point in the middle of this one. Alright, come back in here. Excuse me. Breathing in something. Some chemicals. Ooh, I like that. Too early for the mixing phase though. Gotta hold off for that for a little bit. Alright. Grab some more up here. This is kind of like a nice blue color. I actually might blend this with another brush here real quick. It's okay, it's okay. I gotta get in the weeds of the canvas first. It's not cheating. Unless somebody's saying it's cheating. Cheating, I'm just blending a little bit. Now we can add whites on top of that. Sweet. Alright, let's go back to this. We'll add in some darker colors up here in the corners. Pull this way, but I don't think you can see it in the camera when I put my hand in front like that. So I'll just start like this and see what happens. There we go. Definitely gonna need more paint. Or used up most of the blue. Okay. I need to get more blue. So we've already used it all. That's the one danger with palette knife painting, is just you use too much paint. Bring this over here. Okay. And they also take a very long time to dry. Because you have so much, there's just so many layers of stuff going on, you know. I'm going to try to make the shape of a cloud here. This one that reaches down like that. You got a little edge on him. Do the same over here. This guy, he's pretty big. This one's more well defined than the other one. Comes down like that. Pull left to right to kind of blend it. You don't have much blending options with just the palette knife, but you can still do a little bit. All right, let's get a shadow one back here. Maybe he comes down. There. They're gonna look like blobs here for a bit. But I promise you we can turn these into clouds pretty easy. Straight white. The bottom, just kind of blend them out a little bit, little circles, and he comes back, something like this. There we go. Put another one over on this guy. There we go, a little cloud back there. We'll do this one. This one's a little easier because he's a little more sticking out like that. Comes down here. And this one, I'll do one up here too. Why not? Maybe some here. A little bit more on this big one. Let's do a big one here. That's too much. And we just pull right to left. That's kind of our blending that I mentioned before. There we go. Here's some clouds for you. Oh, that was interesting. A little too much there. Very loose grip here. Like I'm almost about to drop this. Alright, there's our weird looking clouds. What do they call it? Impressionist? They're not weird, they're just different clouds. Alright. I gotta get rid of this. Unless we want to make the mountain that tall. That's a big mountain though. I think we gotta do it. I don't want that outline to show, so we just gotta do it. Crimson. Is that blue? Oh, I didn't need to get that extra blue. Oh well. My fault. Sometimes I miss things. Because to me, these three colors look the same, but I think only these two are blue. Hopefully that's right. Okay, big mountain. Big mountain. A little too straight. I don't like how straight he is. Let's fuzz him up a little bit. Down this side. And it'll pull up at the edge. We can add some trees over here. palette knife, or my, not palette knife, 2-inch brush. Normally I use that to blend this out, but I'm not going to do it. We're just going to pull with the palette knife, make it look like blend it that way. Do little circles, so that's how we blend. And when you do it this way, you pick it up on the top and you can just throw it back down. That's what I normally do. Pick up the excess, drop it back in, put it over here, put some over there. Okay. All right, we'll pull it down one more time. That's about all the blending we're going to get. We can throw in some white there and that'll spread it out. Add some mist. Because normally you use the 2.5-inch brush and you go poof, 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 smack it down, but here we don't have that. We don't have that luxury. All right, I need to move some colors. Move this blue. Might be a good shadow color, but might not be. I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. All right, we need some white in here. Either make this look far away or you can use a bright white. Make it look really detailed. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll use that. We'll do this. Tiny bit of crimson. The smallest bit. This permanent crimson is super strong. So with a little touch of it will turn anything pink. Okay. That's too big of a roll of paint. That's good. That's a good amount. Alright, let's start it. I don't remember what Mount Hood looks like, but I'm going to wing it. Someone will complain. Someone always complains anyway, so we just wing it. Alright, just pull on the bottom there. Bottom doesn't matter too much, or as much, I guess. Let's keep going this way. Maybe it comes down up front. Like that. And then probably maybe one more over here. The rest of this we can just put in shadow color. I think this one's an okay shadow color. It's not super strong. Might need to do it this way. Oop. Missed the top. That's okay, we fixed it. A little bit here. Pull down this way. Do a little bit of shadow here in the middle. And over here, just kind of pull right to left. Makes it look like a little shadow. Maybe some here, up there. Okay. All right. Is that the fastest mountain ever? Could probably add more highlights, but I kind of like the way it looks that way. Might want to come over this way a little bit more details on this side. Something like that. Just a little bit. And maybe a little bit more over here. Ooh, missed the side again. It's okay. All right. I think that's okay. What do you all think? It's not bad. Looks like a mountain. That's all we're going for. So it looks like a mountain, then we've succeeded. let's add in the smoke. We get some smoke down here. And a little bit of blue. That's too much blue. Okay. Let's see if this works. Start in the middle. There's something else in there. There's some mist. This looks like mist. Maybe. Could add a little bit more white to it, but I think that's okay. Mount Hood never looked so good. Thanks, guys. It's a pretty big mountain, very wide. It reminded me of some pictures of Mount Fuji in Japan. Oh no! Oh no! Well, that's not good. About to get even messier than usual. My grip was too loose, folks. That's okay. The handles on these are easy to clean. It wouldn't be a stream if I didn't throw my utensils. I always gotta throw them at least one time. Alright, I think that's fixed up. What was I trying to do? Oh, I wanted to add some more white here. Kind of like the clouds a little bit, but not as strong. Not as strong, and I make them 10 times stronger. That's okay. Good for that side. Get rid of these chunks over here. There we go. Alright. So there's our mist, and there's our mountain clouds. We need some trees, and we need some water down here. Might want to do that first. Let's do that first. Some groundwater. So we use too much blue, white. We have green. Got a little bit of phthalo green. This is emerald green though, so don't want to use as much as we normally would. Just a little bit. Hopefully it looks a little bit like water. Could use some more blue though. Alright, that'll make some water. Alright. I'm going to leave a little gap for the trees. And we'll start down here. Need some more over here. Just pushing in. Pulling straight across. And this will use a ton of paint. But a lot of texture. If you're into texture, you'll probably like palette knife painting. This is for my brother. He loves palette knife paintings. Whenever I have ones that I don't like, I just send them to him and he puts them up in his classroom. Alright, there's some water on that side. Let's do the other side. Probably need to mix some more here. I don't know if I can do it without blocking the camera, but I'll try. Doing the limbo back. too high. That's okay. One more, maybe two more. Yeah, we'll need two more. Okay. I'll need to pull this forward just a little bit. There we go. This is kind of flat. There will be a reflection of trees here, so I'm not super concerned with it. Just gotta make sure it's mostly covered. In the middle, we need the sheen. We need the sheen in here. I'm gonna be dinging on these things. That in there. Just trying to get in all these little, I don't know if you can see them, but there are cracks in the weaves. So I'm just trying to get them all pushed in there. Otherwise it looks kind of weird to have that negative, what's it called, negative space, I think. All that negative space. So I'm just trying to cover it up. All right. I think that's good enough for some water. Smooth it out a little bit here. But that's good enough. What's the most paintings you've done in a day? I think 5. 5 was the top. I did that. I was in between jobs, and I took 1 week off in between, and then one day I didn't have anything to do, so I just painted all day. It was fun. It was a good time. All right, we're using. We gotta make some trees here, folks. Let's do some trees. This is just green, so emerald green, and this might be a good highlight. Let's use that as a highlight. I don't want that color as the base for the trees. Maybe use some more emerald green, some blue, some white. But yeah, I did 5 in one day, and that was exhausting. I've never done anything like that before. All right, let's do some evergreens here. Actually, these don't have to be evergreens, they can be whatever. I'm just putting in green blobs here. Could do I want to do those? Nah, sure. Nah, it's not thick enough, sorry. I wondered what I'm doing. We need to take off a little bit of this white here. It's a little too intense. I can use that later though. It's mixing too much is the word I was looking for. When you have too much paint with palette knife paintings, it's very easy to take off. But you'll know that you have too much because things start turning weird colors. Really weird, really quick. Like this is turning a weird mint green. And I'm not trying to make a mint green here. I'm trying to make trees. I guess mint green is not a bad tree color. Alright, let's get some more of that green. On this side. This side will probably be a little easier. There we go. Where's our water line? I think it's right here. Gotta remember. Alright, throw some in here. Little tree there. Pull down there. Definitely need more emerald green here. Trying to make them a little round. I don't know if you can even see that. Need more emerald green for the trees. Alright, there's emerald green. Richard from West Virginia checking in. Painting looks great. Thanks, Rich. You're the first Facebook live stream commenter. No one's commented on a Facebook live stream before. This is also my first one, but that's just a neat fact for you. I need to double check the quality because it was like $16 to upgrade the quality, but I'm also allowed to stream to 2 other platforms now, so I should be live on Twitter and Facebook for folks that are interested in those platforms. I'm mostly just concerned with the quality because it bugs me when I download the videos and they're not very detailed. And I know the camera can definitely do them because I've done some 4K ones before. Okay. Gotta get these base round things in and then we can start giving them some shapes. Okay, I think that's good enough. Let me just start pulling down. All right. Pull down, pull to the right. A little tricky with the palette knife, but should work. Does it look like a reflection? I need a little bit more in here. How's that look for a reflection? It's in progress. It's in progress. We're working on it. Okay. Let's see. Let's start giving them some shapes first before we. So right now they all kind of look the same. To do that, I usually just kind of tap in different directions with the palette knife. It makes them sticky. It gives them some texture. This works way better with my other palette knife, but I'm not using that one for. I don't think I'm ready to use that one on a live stream yet. Just yet. Soon though, I'm getting better with it. You're probably wondering what I'm doing. I don't know what the term is for this. Scumbling, maybe? Is that the term? I don't know. I'm basically pressing flat against the canvas so it makes it texture. Makes it easier to do highlights with the palette knife. It's just one thing I've noticed. Okay. Now we're going to do, oh, what is this? Mid-tone? Yeah. I'm going to do like a really weird green color here. Maybe a little bit more wood green. Might be a little too bright. Yeah, should work. Should work. There we go. A little bit less. All right, we're going to start applying this green in clumps, little round clumps here. Little round clumps. Where we think leaves might be. Much easier here with the texture on there. Don't have to work very hard. Maybe some down there. A little bit there. Some on this guy. Ooh, he's got some yellow in him. That's cool. Over on this one. Some over there. This one up here. This one. And this one, you don't have too much on him. Maybe on the bottom, but not towards the top, probably. And then we'll add, let's see, I'll do some ochre and green. A little bit more green. And I'll use this for the highlights on this one up here, because he's going to be more in the shadow. One there, one there, one there. There we go. And then one more highlight. Over here. Are your canvases 3/4 or 1 inch thick? They are I believe they're the 3/4 inch stapled ones. But I'd have to double check to be sure. Alright, let's just do a little bit of yellow ochre up on this one. There we go. And then on these ones, I'm just going to do the white, or not white, cad yellow white. Sorry. Getting the colors all confused today. And these will mix up pretty quick, so they'll turn dark green. So I'll start and try and tap it as much as I can first and then work back. Very thick though. We got 3 layers of paint here, so this is a very heavy section. There we go. Just tapping here at the bottom on this one. Over on this one. Maybe we'll do some over here too while we're at it. And then towards the bottom, maybe we put in a shoreline, some water. I think we all own the same hat estate. Could be. Lots of people have this. What's it called? I got it from some place called Hats in the Belfry. I got it a long time ago. I never wore it, but I started doing the streams and I didn't want to blind people with my baldness, so I got one. I just started wearing it. Alright, we're just pulling some dirt down here. Burnt sienna. Sometimes I just say dirt. When I say dirt, I mean burnt sienna. To me, this is what the clay, the dirt around where I live, this is what it looks like, burnt sienna. Alright, let's touch some there. cover up that spot. There's a bright spot there. I don't like him. There we go. And we'll highlight on top of that. This is just sienna and white, and some maybe some green. A little bit of all those. Just pulling left to right. Very, very light touch, because if you push it all, this is going to just mash in. We don't want to mash. We're not trying to mash the paint here. All right. Got to do a water line. Heavy water line. Let's see. I'll start over here. And this is where we want to mash. Smooth that out just a touch towards the top. There we go. And then I'll just throw in some wave looking things here. Just use up all the extra paint. That's really all I'm doing here. Very sticky. It's, there we go. I gotta pull some down here. There we go. There's our Mount Hood painting. Palette knife. Do we want to sign it with just the palette knife? We could. Could also add some rocks down here maybe. I don't know. We got all this extra paint. Not enough for another painting, but enough for a rock. Let's do that. Let's make a dark brown rock. This is crimson and ivory black. Let's just put him over here. Right there. I don't know if there are actually rocks at in the water at Mount Hood, but I'm putting one in anyway. There we go. There we go. There's a rock. Just felt like adding one in, tying the painting together. I don't know. All right. Let's sign it with the. Let's try the signature with the top edge. I never do this, but I shouldn't say I never do it. I just don't do it often. It does make for a cooler signature, though, that's for sure. Luckily, my initials have no curves in them, other than the J, but that's easy. Because you can do straight down, and then just pull to the left, and it looks like a J. I don't know how we're going to do a 2 and a 3, though, so these are just going to be squiggles. Two, three. There. There's our squiggles for 2, 3. This is our Mount Hood painting for Oregon. Next week, I don't know what states we're on. Whatever comes after Oregon. Getting towards the end, though. We're almost done all 50 states. Almost dropped it. Caught it just in time. Mount Hood, Oregon, with the palette knife. Hopefully you can see it. That was fun. Nice little palette knife painting there. All right. Fall off again. All right. Well, let's check the chat. Mountain looks really good. Thanks, Kenneth. Much appreciated. I think that's all for today, though. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate everybody. Hope you have a good week, good Easter. Eat plenty of food. Spend time with the family. Just have a good time. So, thanks again. I'll see you all next week.